Hello viewers, welcome to Ekam Academy. In this video, we are going to discuss about multidimensional poverty report released by NITI Aayog. So what is the importance of this report, who is releasing this at a global level, national level, and also we are going to see other related topics like what is poverty, how poverty estimation is done in India, even in pre-independence period, post-independence period, and now what is a body that is responsible for poverty estimation, and many more things which are important for both prelims as well as mains. So without any further delay, let's start. So here you can see this is a multidimensional poverty index that was released by NITI Aayog with a title called Multidimensional Poverty in India since 2005 and 6. Okay, so that is why it is in news. What is poverty? Poverty estimation, how it is done in India, multidimensional poverty, national multidimensional poverty index is released by whom, and we are going to discuss what are the key findings of this report and what are the government interventions to reduce poverty in India. So these are the main points of discussion of this video. In syllabus, if you can see, it is part of GS paper 3 in mains. Under economy section, especially there is a mention of poverty in your syllabus. So poverty is a very important topic because of it's mentioned in SDG. So you know SDG 1 is mentioning that we have to achieve no poverty by 2030. So every country is trying to eradicate poverty, okay, from its domain. So that is why this particular word is very important in prelims as well as mains. So now we start the video. Here you can see NITI Aayog has released its discussion paper called Multidimensional Poverty in India since 2005-6. That is why it is a news as we have discussed. Now understand what is poverty. So most of us will feel that poverty means deprivation of income only, but it is not true, because poverty is not only deprivation of income. Whatever the essential things are there to have a standard of proper standard of living, all those things, if anything, okay, you know what is essential things like food, clothing and shelter. In case if these three are missed, okay, any one of these are missed, then also you can say that person is suffering from poverty. So you know poverty is a root cause of different social problems like terrorism, crimes. Okay, in many movies you might have seen, right? Okay, so చిన్నప్పుడు హీరో తప్పిపోయి లేకపోతే పేరెంట్స్ చనిపోవడం వల్ల he'll struggle and he'll try to come out of these things, and he'll try to take a path that is not right, like he'll engage into crimes or he'll become part of some mafia and all these things. Later he'll realize. So we have seen in different movies, right? The same thing happens. Okay, so because of poverty, so many people are turning towards terrorism or other social crimes like robbery, like killing, murders and all these things. Okay, so that is the main definition of poverty. What is definition here? The state or condition in which a person or community, it is not only individual problem but it is a social problem, okay, where the persons are lacking financial resources as well as essentials for minimum standard of living. Essentials for minimum standard of living means not only these: education, infrastructure, health. Okay, so if these things are deprived, then also the person is considered to be poor in India. Okay, so this is individual as well as social problem, and you know welfare schemes will be launched by different governments to eradicate poverty. So we'll see those at the end, and you know it is a result of multiple factors, not only simply income. Okay, so don't just think that poverty is in terms of income. So now we have to see who will estimate poverty in India. Before that, you need to know in terms of history. Okay, so what is the first estimate related to poverty in India? Later in pre-independence and post-independence, what are all different committees? So when we are discussing this, okay, so what I'm trying to make is I'm trying to put all the related information at one place so that your preparation is becoming easy. Okay, so then here first estimate in India is made by Dadabhai Naoroji. You know, he is a moderate leader. So you know most important contribution of moderates is drain of wealth. Okay, so they are the first persons to highlight that out of British India, the wealth is draining towards the British. Okay, so they are looting India economically, exploitation of India economically. You know, previously we were a exporter of finished goods, but now we have turned to be importer of raw materials also. So that is what the situation. Okay, so Dadabhai Naoroji in his Poverty and Un-British Rule, so first time he made an estimate on poverty in India, that is pre-independence period. Then National Planning Committee. You know, National Planning Committee was formed under the presidentship of Subhash Chandra Bose when he was the president of Haripura session, and he formed this committee with whom as the president? Jawaharlal Jawaharlal Nehru as the president. Don't get confused. In 1938 INC session, Subhash Chandra Bose was the president. Okay, so he formed this committee. For this committee, who is the head? Jawaharlal Nehru, National Planning Committee. Okay, so because these two leaders have socialist origins. Okay, it's like socialist ideologies in their mind. So first country to adopt planning at the national level is Soviet Union, and they were tilted towards Soviet ideology, and also because of this, they two together they have formed this National Planning Committee in Bombay Plan. So what is this Bombay Plan? This was a plan proposed by different industrialists. Okay, so like Jamshedji Tata, Purushottam Das, Thakur Das, all these persons. So they have highlighted what is the importance of Indianization of industries. So at that time also we have British industries, but British industries when they are run, okay, so that is not creating wealth in India, and that wealth, if it is created, also it is getting shifted towards British. So that is what they have highlighted. Means they have highlighted what is the importance of Indianization of industries to eradicate poverty in India under this Bombay Plan in 1944. This is also related to poverty estimation in India. Then after independence, YK committee. So in 1979, this committee for the first time identified what is the estimation of poverty. But what did they have taken as a parameter? They have taken nutritional requirement. Means if any person is deprived of some necessary nutritional intake, okay, so then that person is considered as poor according to YK committee. Okay, then you have DT Lagdawala committee in 1993. So this committee also followed the same lines of YK committee, and this committee also said the consumption expenditure is based on calorie intake. Calorie intake means, for example, if you have remembered, this committee suggested 2,400 calories in rural areas per day and 2,100 calories in urban areas. If a person is not taking these many calories in a day, then that person is considered as poor according to DT Lagdawala committee. So why this difference is there? Because in rural areas more physical activity has to take place and all. So more people will be engaged. So calorie intake also should be more. And in urban areas, lesser physical activity will be part of normal life. So here 2100 is given as the number for urban areas. So then, what are the other committees? Tendulkar committee was released in this committee has released a report in 2009. So what is this committee saying? So poverty should be based on consumption expenditure, and that consumption expenditure should be calculated on per capita income per month. Means how much you are earning in rural and urban areas per capita per month. Based on that, you are deciding who is below poverty and who is above poverty line according to this committee. So what is the estimate they have given? They said 816 per capita per month in rural areas and 1000 rupees per capita per month in urban areas. This is what the estimate given by Tendulkar committee. Then Rangarajan committee. C. Rangarajan, he was the former RBI governor also. So his articles will be coming in very often in Hindu editorials also. Please go through them. It is very important. They'll give good measures how to remove the economic problem and all. So this is a suggestible article. And this committee in 2014, it also has taken the same steps of Tendulkar committee, but they have increased the income or the consumption per capita consumption expenditure from 816 rupees to 972 rupees in rural areas, 1000 rupees to 1407 rupees in urban areas. Means YK committee and Lagdawala committee said it should be based on nutritional or calorie requirement. But Tendulkar committee and you have seen now another C. Rangarajan committee has suggested that it should be based on per capita income means how much you are spending per month in rural areas and urban areas. That is what they have said. But now who is doing this poverty estimation in India means Niti Aayog task force. Niti Aayog is a executive body. Do remember this. This is not a statutory non-constitutional body. This was formed in 2015 in place of Planning Commission. And who is the chairman of Niti Aayog? It is the Prime Minister. Who is the vice chairman? Okay, a person appointed by the government. Okay, so he will be the vice chairman. Recently, Arvind Panagaria, the first vice chairman, has become one of the person. In which particular thing he became member? You answer in the comment section. Okay, so then it uses data collected by National Sample Survey Office. Okay, so Niti Aayog task force is relying on this particular organization's data related to poverty estimation, and it is releasing who are below poverty line and how much of the population is under poverty. So if you have remembered this, NSSSO and CSO, they have formed together NSO. Okay, now we are calling this as NSO. Do remember this also. And this is under MOSPI. MOSPI means that a national sample office or organization is under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. That is a very important thing. Then this is what multidimensional poverty index is. So here you know health, education, standard of living. These three are the main indicators or parameters taken by this particular index to identify multidimensional poverty. So what is poverty we have seen, okay? So if you are deprived of your basic essentials or standard of living, then you are saying that the person is suffering from poverty. Then what is multidimensional poverty? Multidimensional poverty means not only regarding nutritional or income, but if any person is deprived of education, infrastructure, health, and all these things, means it can be multidimensional. Poverty is not limited only to income. That is what the main concept of multidimensional poverty index is. So it is relying on these three parameters: health, education, and standard of living, which are again divided into number of sub-parameters. You can see here, health is divided into nutrition, child and adolescent mortality, maternal health, and education, years of schooling and school attendance. And you can see standard of living, cooking fuel, sanitation, drinking water, housing, electricity, assets, and bank account. Okay. So in this way, if you do remember any of these subparameters, you can write related schemes in the measures suggested. Okay. Then, what is multidimensional poverty index? Here you can see this is a general global level measure that captures poverty in multi dimensions, not only in monetary aspects, means not only in monetary or income based aspects, but when you are measuring poverty in multi dimensions, then it is considered as multidimensional poverty index. So what is the definition given by World Bank? This is important. In any answer related to mains, if they ask about multidimensional poverty, you can write these definitions because this is given by World Bank. If you write a general definition, instead of getting 1 mark, if you write these things, you will get extra 1 mark. Okay, 2 marks for an answer. That means here, what did they say? World Bank measure of poverty that captures deprivations in education and access to basic infrastructure in addition to income or consumption. Means not only in income, if there is a deprivation in education and infrastructure also, and if that person is not able to earn how many dollars per day? 2.15 US dollars per day, then he is considered as multidimensionally poor by World Bank. Okay, so World Bank is defining international poverty line at US dollars 2.15, means any person earning above this is considered as above poverty line, any person earning below this is considered as below poverty line. Okay, according to World Bank. And you know, recently World Bank, who is the World Bank president now? Another Indian origin person. Only answer who is the World Bank president in the comment section. Then, who releases this global multidimensional poverty index is very important. Okay, so Oxford Poverty Human Development Initiative (OPHI) plus UNDP, United Nations Development Program. These two together are releasing global multidimensional poverty index since 2010. Okay, this is very important. Then it is measuring multidimensional poverty on 3 parameters, as we have seen: health, education, standard of living. So in prelims also they can simply ask what are the parameters on which this multidimensional poverty index is compiled. So this is a straightforward question. And 2 other things are also taken in national level whenever we are calculating. What are those? Maternal health and bank accounts. Okay, so financial inclusion. Then what are the key findings of this Niti Aayog report? Okay, so as this was released by Niti Aayog, the major findings of this report will be only on India level. Okay, so if you have seen, India has registered a significant decline, means we are on a good sign. Okay, so that means we are able to eradicate poverty in soon. Okay, so you can see by 2030 we have kept a target that we wanted to achieve SDG 1, right? No poverty. That means we are on the right path to achieve this soon. Okay, here what is the finding? This is very important. Okay, in 2013-14, almost 29% of the people are multidimensionally poor in India, but now we are able to reduce that to 11% in 2022 and 23. This is a very welcome measure. Then state-wise decline, which are the states that have registered highest decline is Uttar Pradesh, followed by Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, and then you also have Rajasthan. So almost 4 to 9 crore people were lifted out of multidimensional poverty in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, that is why it is the first state to achieve a huge decline in multidimensional poverty. In all the 12 indicators, we have seen sub-indicators also categorized under 3 main indicators, right? So all they have shown is sign of improvement, okay? And these initiatives are only mainly helpful in eradicating how many people out of poverty? 24.82 crore people, means almost 25 crore people are lifted out of multidimensional poverty in last 9 years in India. This is very good sign. These things have to be quoted in your answers. Okay, first point is this, when you're writing any answer related to poverty. Second thing is this, you have to write, and third thing, what are the states that have shown a positive decline. Okay, then as a result, you can see India is able to achieve SDG target by 2030, that is SDG 1. Okay, if this is achieved, many other SDGs also can be achieved easily, right? Okay, then what are the government initiatives in this regard? So government has to take some measures, right? If some people are suffering from poverty, the government's main role is it has to be in a position to lift them out of poverty. So what are the measures that were taken here? So Poshan Abhiyan. Poshan Abhiyan means it is aimed at catering the nutritional requirements of the people who are below poverty line, and also Anemia Mukt Bharat, because most of the people who are poor, they are not having capability to have proper nutritious food, because of which the hemoglobin content in the blood also may not be improved, because of which they are subjected to anemia. So adolescent girls especially, okay, if they are giving birth at the early age, or if the child is born, okay, so he also can suffer from anemia. So Anemia Mukt Bharat is an initiative launched by Government of India mainly to eradicate anemia from adolescent and pregnant ladies. So what is the target that is kept by central government? Answer in the comment section. Then National Food Security Act, this is the act launched in 2013, and under this we are supplying subsidized food grains. Okay, that means at a lower price, discounted price only, we are providing food grains for those people who cannot afford. Okay, means we are covering almost 75% of our rural population and 50% of urban population under this program. Means whoever are not able to afford their basic food, okay, so they are getting benefited under this program. This is a very important program to eradicate poverty and hunger. Even in hunger also you can write these two. Okay, then Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matrutva Abhiyan. What is this scheme aimed at? So pregnant ladies, okay, they will be hesitant in case of the poor people. So they will be hesitant for going for doctor consultations and all. In that situation, Government of India has launched this scheme aiming at providing free antenatal care to the pregnant ladies on 9th of every month. Means if you visit any government hospital on 9th of every month, they are entitled to free checkup. Okay, so that they will not hesitate for any consultations. So that there will be continuous monitoring on health of the baby as well as the mother. Then Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. This scheme is aimed at providing free LPG cylinders to those people who are below poverty line. Initially, they targeted only below poverty line people, but later it was extended to all the people. Okay, like even Antyodaya Yojana people also, and the SC, STs, forest dwellers, other people are also covered under this now. And what is Saubhagya Yojana? It is aimed at 100% electrification. Okay, so this is the main program to provide electrification. If you are not having electricity supply in your area or in your home, then you cannot develop yourself, right? Okay, so electricity has become an essential thing in recent times. And what is Swachh Bharat Mission? This is mainly to make India open defecation free. Means again to promote hygiene as well as development. This is Jal Jeevan Mission, JJM. Okay, so this scheme was launched mainly to provide every rural household. Okay, every household in the rural areas will be provided tap connections. Okay, drinking water connections through this under this scheme by 2024. Every rural household will be provided with water connections by 2024. That is the main objective of this scheme under Ministry of Jal Shakti. Then Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. This was launched in 2014 to provide financial inclusion, because whenever you are targeting these many schemes, so the people, half the beneficiaries will be entitled to these benefits, means whenever they have bank account. Otherwise, middlemen will be exploiting these beneficiaries and they will give only half or less than half of the amount to these. In case they're having their own bank account, then through direct benefit transfer, the government will transfer directly to their bank accounts. In this way, this is also helping in eradicating poverty. Then Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. So this is aimed at providing free housing for urban and rural poor. Okay, so housing is also one of the basic essential thing that is required to have a standard of living. So in this way, these are the main schemes released or like launched by the government of India to target the people who are below poverty line. So you can write any 4 or 5 of these in your answers to have an extra edge. Okay, then in case when you're reading any schemes, okay, so when you're reading schemes, what should be your focus areas means who is that ministry or which ministry is attached with this particular scheme and what are its objectives, and who are all intended beneficiaries are there. So these things have to be taken care from prelims perspective. Okay, so whenever you're writing about any problem, economic problem or environmental problem or social problem, political problem, you have to suggest measures because you are going to become some bureaucrats, right? Whenever there is a problem, the bureaucrat has to show solutions. So UPSC or another PCS also, they will be expecting solution from you people. So you have to give solutions in form of these. Okay, so here these 3 things have to be taken care when you're reading any scheme. Okay, then what is this National Multidimensional Poverty Index? So who is releasing at the national level? It is Niti Aayog again. So from when? Since to 2021. So first edition of national level multidimensional poverty index is released in 2021. At the global level, we have seen Oxford Poverty Human Development Initiative and UNDP together they are releasing. What is the purpose here? So they wanted to compile because the government should have enough data. So if they know that how much people, for example, if you have seen previously it is 29%. Okay, of the population, but now 11%, means if we have data, then only we can better provide them services. Okay, so in this way, this is the main purpose. And for compiling this poverty related data, Niti Aayog is also using National Family Health Survey for data in the reference period 2015 and 16. Okay, now NHFS 5 is also available. Then it is time for previous question from this particular theme. So what we are doing from this perspective, from this particular day is, as your prelims is appearing, even in the UPSC preparation, also in state PSS exams also, many exams are in the nearby. So what we are doing is, whatever the theme we are going to discuss as part of daily current affairs, same theme based PYQ also we are giving, so that you have some idea that how UPSC or any state PCS is picking up the questions related to the particular theme. So this is all intended to make your preparation easy. So if you want any funds like any other initiatives which you want to be part of your preparation from our side, we are very helpful. We are ready to help you. Please let me know on all those things in your comment section. Okay. Then, in a given year in India, official poverty lines are higher in some states than in others because this question is asked in UPSC Prelims 2019. So, what are the options they have given? Poverty rates vary from state to state. Price levels vary from state to state. Gross state product varies from state to state. Quality of public distribution varies from state to state. If you have seen, these two options have no probability to become answers, right? Because gross state product varies from state to state anyhow, but that doesn't have any relation to poverty. But here, if you see, options can be between these two. But if you have seen, when we have discussed poverty estimates in India, we have seen different committees suggesting different recommendations with respect to poverty. Means some committees said nutritional requirements, some committees said per capita expenditure, but they're varying in rural and urban areas only, but they're not varying from state to state. No one has suggested that this state should have this much poverty as a metric and all. So that means poverty rates are not varying according to the state, but what is varying is price levels varies from state to state. Okay, this is causing poverty. Okay, this is the answer for this question. Then, practice question for prelims. Which of the following are the two categories of poverty identified by UNDP? Okay, so under UNDP, Global Multidimensional Poverty Index is being released, right? So, which two types of poverty are being considered by UNDP to release this Multidimensional Poverty Index? Then, the main question is, hunger and poverty are the biggest challenges for good governance in India. Evaluate how far successive governments have progressed in dealing with these human problems and suggest measures for improvement. Okay, so you can see here, this hunger is dealt under SDG 2. Okay, SDG 1 poverty. So SDG 1, there is zero, no poverty, and zero hunger is SDG 2. So if you see, these two problems are interlinked. Okay, so you have to start the answer by giving what is the level of hunger and poverty in India. Okay, so otherwise you can also start your answer by explaining like what is the definition of hunger and what is the definition of poverty given by any organization. Then you can give some data related to hunger and poverty, on what measures we are calculating these and who are authorized to measure hunger and poverty estimates in India. You can give these things in the body. Then what you have to give here, so these things, how governments have progressed, means they are saying that there is a progress. So how there is a progress means you have to give some data. Like we have seen, poverty has reduced from 29% to 11% according to Niti Aayog's report. So if you give such data, you are substantiating that there is some progress. Okay, then what are all the measures that are taken? Okay, so if you have to decrease from this to this, there should be some measures taken from government side also, right? So what are those measures? Okay, so those also you have to suggest, and some other measures which can be incorporated so that we can have more effective results, that also you can suggest in this answer. So this should be your answer for mains. I'm giving in a crux manner, so you have to practice on your own. Okay, so as we have come to the end of the video, here we have discussed about what is multidimensional poverty. We have also seen how poverty estimation is done in India, and what is the global multidimensional poverty index, and also national level multidimensional poverty index, and what is Niti Aayog's report's key findings, and all these things we have discussed. So please follow the videos on a regular basis. It will help you for your prelims preparation as well as mains preparation. Stay tuned for further issues on these particular themes which are important. Thank you.